The sun beats down on a quiet street in an Atlanta suburb, its light filtering through ancient oak trees draped in Spanish moss. Brick houses with manicured lawns and blooming azaleas line the road, their porches adorned with rocking chairs and potted ferns. The hum of a lawnmower blends with the distant pulse of hip-hop from a car cruising by, bass thumping. Kids in bright sneakers chase a basketball in a driveway, their shouts and laughter cutting through the warm air. A woman in a sundress waters her garden, waving at a neighbor pushing a stroller. The scent of grilled ribs and magnolias floats on the breeze, grounding the scene in a sense of community and home. The living room is a sanctuary of memory and warmth. A hand-stitched quilt, bursting with reds, blues, and yellows, drapes over a plush, well-worn sofa. The walls are a gallery of family history, black and white photos of grandparents in Sunday best, Polaroids of cookouts, a faded wedding portrait of a young couple smiling under a flower arch. A Bible rests on a polished coffee table, its leather cover worn from years of touch, next to a glass of sweet tea, condensation pooling on a coaster. The TV hums softly, tuned to a gospel channel, a choir's harmonies filling the space with quiet reverence. From the kitchen, the rich aroma of cornbread and simmering collard greens wafts through the air. The front door creaks open, hinges groaning. Footsteps shuffle across the hardwood floor, deliberate but hesitant. A man's voice, warm yet edged with unease, breaks the stillness. "Mama, I'm home." The clatter of pots in the kitchen stops abruptly. A woman's voice, deep and resonant, laced with both love and authority, calls back. "About time you showed up, boy. You know I don't like waiting when you say you're coming." She steps into the living room, wiping her hands on a faded apron tied over a floral dress. She's in her 60s, her hair pulled into a neat bun, gray streaks framing a face that carries the weight of loss and resilience. Her glasses perch low on her nose, and her eyes, sharp and knowing, fix on a man by the door. She moves with purpose, her presence filling the room like the gospel music in the background. "Come in here and sit. We need to talk about this wedding. I've been waiting weeks to hear when you're doing the big one, the real one with the family and all. When's it happening?" He sets a leather backpack on the floor, his sneakers squeaking against the polished wood. He's in his 30s, dressed in a crisp button-up shirt and jeans, his city polish a stark contrast to the room's rustic warmth. His hands fidget, and he avoids her gaze, staring instead at a photo on the wall. A young boy, maybe him, grinning with a fishing pole. "Mama, it already happened. Last month." The air turns thick, heavy with unspoken betrayal. Her hands freeze on the apron, fingers clutching the fabric so tightly her knuckles pale. Her breath catches, and her eyes narrow, searching his face for some sign he's misspoken. "What you mean already happened?" He clears his throat, his voice barely above a whisper, as if saying it louder would make it worse. "Me and Tasha, we did it. It was small, just at the courthouse. We didn't want a big thing." She takes a step back, as if the words have physically pushed her. Her face tightens, a storm of shock and hurt brewing behind her eyes. Her voice, when it comes, is sharp, each word a blade honed by disappointment. "You telling me you got married, my only son, and I wasn't there? No family, no blessing, no nothing?" He steps forward, hands raised in a plea, trying to bridge the widening gap between them. "Mama, it wasn't like that. Tasha's folks, they're not into all that. They said the courthouse was fine, and we just thought, fine? Asterisco, fine asterisco. Boy, you know what a wedding means to this family. You know what it meant to your daddy, rest his soul, to see you stand up proud with your bride. And you didn't even tell me?" She turns, pacing toward the window, her apron swishing with each step. Her hands clench and unclench, as if trying to hold on to something slipping away. Her vision of her son's future, her place in it. The gospel choir on the TV sings of forgiveness, but the words feel distant, drowned by her rising anger. "Mana, I'm sorry. We thought it'd be easier. Less stress, less money. Tasha's family. Don't you dare put this on her family. This is about you. You knew what this would mean to me. To your aunties, your cousins, everybody who raised you. You think a courthouse paper makes a marriage in the eyes of God and family? Her voice cracks, and she presses a hand to her chest, steadying herself against the weight of her words. Tears glisten in her eyes, but she blinks them back, refusing to let them fall. She sinks into the sofa, her hands covering her face for a moment, as if to shield herself from the reality of his choice. He kneels beside her, his voice soft, pleading, almost boyish in its desperation. Mama, please. I messed up. I should have told you. Tasha's good, Mama. She loves me. We didn't mean to hurt you. She looks down at him, her face a tempest of emotions. Anger, pain, but beneath it all, an unshakable love. Her voice softens, but it's no less firm, each word deliberate. Hurt don't even cover it. I spent years praying for you, for this day. I pictured the church, the choir singing, your uncles giving their toasts, me pinning that boutonniere on your jacket. I picture the whole family there, celebrating you, lifting you up. And you took that from me. She points to the wall, where a faded photo hangs, her own wedding, decades ago. She's young, radiant in a white dress, standing beside a man in a suit, his smile wide and proud. Family surrounds them, clapping, laughing, their joy frozen in time. Your daddy would have been there, front row, clapping loudest. You know that. He'd have told that story about you stealing his tie to wear it to school, making everybody laugh. Her voice catches, and she looks away, out the window, where the street is quiet now, the kids gone inside. He nods, his head bowed, guilt heavy in his silence. I know. I'm sorry, Mama. I didn't think. You didn't think. That's the problem. You didn't think about me, about your daddy's memory, about the family that carried you through every storm. A marriage ain't just two people, son. It's a community, it's roots, it's the love that holds you when the world gets heavy. She wipes her eyes with the corner of her apron, her movements slow, deliberate. She takes a deep breath, steadying herself, her hands smoothing the fabric as if to smooth her emotions. You're my son. I love you. But this ain't right. A marriage without family ain't whole. You need to fix this. He looks up, his face a mix of confusion and regret, his eyes glistening. Fix it? How? It's done, Mama. She stands, resolute, pointing to the door with a hand that trembles but holds steady. You go get Tasha. Bring her here. We're doing this proper. Not some courthouse slip. A real blessing, with family, with love, with God in the room. You owe me that much. He hesitates, his hands resting on his knees, then nods slowly, standing. Okay, Mama. I'll talk to her. I promise. She grabs his hand, squeezing it tight, her eyes locking onto his with an intensity that cuts through his defenses. You better. And don't you ever forget who you come from. This family, this house, this love, it's your foundation. You don't build a life without it. He nods, his voice barely audible, thick with emotion. I won't. I promise. She lets go, turning back to the kitchen, her steps heavy but purposeful. Go on, then, and take some cornbread for the road. You look skinny running around that city. He manages a small smile, the first crack in the tension. He grabs a piece of cornbread wrapped in foil from the counter, the warmth of it grounding him. Thanks, Mama. He steps out, the door closing softly behind him. She walks to the window, watching his car pull away, its taillights fading into the afternoon light. The gospel music swells, the choir singing of grace and second chances. She closes her eyes, her lips moving in a silent prayer, her hand resting on the Bible. The sky burns orange and pink, painting the street in a warm glow. She sits in a rocking chair, her Bible open in her lap, a fresh glass of sweet tea beside her. The neighborhood hums with evening life, crickets chirping, a neighbor's radio playing Marvin Gaye, the clink of glasses from a porch barbecue. She rocks slowly, her eyes fixed on the horizon, her face a mix of hope and resolve. A car pulls into the driveway, its engine cutting through the quiet. Tasha steps out, mid-20s, elegant in a simple sundress, her hair in neat braids. She holds a bouquet of flowers, white roses and lilies, her hands trembling slightly. Her face is warm but nervous, her eyes scanning the house. He follows, carrying a bag of groceries, his expression a blend of hope and trepidation. Mama stands, smoothing her apron, her eyes softening as she sees Tasha. Tasha, come here, child. Let me look at you. Tasha approaches the porch steps, clutching the flowers, her voice small but sincere. Mrs. Johnson, I'm so sorry. We didn't mean to hurt you. I told him we should have. Mama waves her off, stepping forward to pull her into a tight hug, her arms strong and enveloping. Hush now, baby. You're family. We don't hold grudges here. We start fresh. She pulls back, holding Tasha's face in her hands, studying her with a mother's scrutiny. You're prettier than he said. Good heart, too, I can tell. Tasha smiles, tears brimming, and hands her the flowers. These are for you. I wanted to make things right. Mama takes the bouquet, inhaling the scent, her face softening further. They're beautiful, just like you. She turns to her son, her eyes narrowing slightly, but with a hint of warmth. You did one thing right, bringing her here. Now let's do this proper. They walk inside, the door closing behind them. Laughter and chatter spill out, blending with the evening breeze. The gospel music rises, a triumphant note of hope and healing. The dining room is alive with warmth and chaos. A long oak table groans under the weight of a feast. Collard greens with ham hocks, fried chicken crispy and golden, cornbread steaming in a cast-iron skillet, macaroni and cheese bubbling with a cheesy crust, and a peach cobbler still warm from the oven. Family fills the room. Uncles in pressed shirts, aunties in bright dresses, cousins joking and passing plates. The air is thick with the scent of food and the sound of overlapping voices, a joyful cacophony of love and reunion. Tasha sits beside him, her hand in his under the table, her smile shy but growing more confident as an auntie teases her about her braids. He watches her, his face relaxed for the first time, a weight lifted. Mama stands at the head of the table, raising a glass of sweet tea, her presence commanding silence. Family, we're here tonight to bless this union. It ain't how I planned it, and Lord knows I had words about it. The room chuckles, a few cousins nudging him playfully. She continues, her voice steady but warm. But God's got a way of working things out. This boy, my boy, found a good woman. And Tasha, you're one of us now. This family, this love, it's yours. So here's to them, to love, to family, to new beginnings. The room erupts in cheers, glasses clinking, voices shouting amen, and to love. Tasha leans into him, whispering through her smile. Thank you for this. I didn't know it could feel like this. He squeezes her hand, glancing at Mama, who winks at him, her eyes sparkling with pride. EXT, Mama's house, backyard night. The backyard is transformed, strung with fairy lights twinkling like stars. A Bluetooth speaker pumps classic soul, Aretha Franklin's voice soaring over the crowd. Family dances on a makeshift floor of packed earth, aunties swaying with uncles, kids darting between legs, their laughter rising into the night. A table holds pitchers of lemonade and sweet tea, plates of leftovers stacked high. Mama pulls Tasha onto the dance floor, teaching her a two-step, her hips moving with a rhythm that defies her age. You gotta move your hips, girl. Like this. Loosen up. Tasha laughs, her braids swinging as she tries to keep up, her nervousness melting away. He watches from the sidelines, his heart full, then steps in, spinning Mama under the lights. She laughs, a sound rich and free, and pulls him into a hug. You did good, son. You brought her home. He nods, his voice thick. I love you, Mama. She pats his cheek, her eyes glistening. I know you do. Now go dance with your wife. He takes Tasha's hand, pulling her into a slow sway as the music shifts to Al Green. The family cheers, some snapping photos, others raising glasses. The camera pulls back, the scene glowing with love, laughter, and a promise of tomorrow. Fireflies blink in the distance, mirroring the fairy lights, as the music carries into the night. The house is quiet now, the family gone home. Mama sits on the sofa, the quilt pulled over her lap, a cup of tea in her hands. Tasha and her son clean up in the kitchen, their soft laughter drifting in. She looks at the wedding photo on the wall, her fingers tracing the frame. She whispers to herself, or maybe to the man in the photo. "We did all right, didn't we?" She smiles, closing her eyes, the gospel music playing softly in the background.